Yo, what's up guys? This is Redfield and today I'm going to be taking you through my remix of Lovin' on Me by Harlow. This was loads of fun to do because I wanted to play most of the instrumentation myself rather than rely on Splice, which I always do. But the one thing I did use was the guitar riff from, I found this guitar loop online and that sounds like this. And from there I started building on the groove, which sounds like this. I wanted to write a lot more of the percussion rather than rely on loops for this track as well. So these are the percussive sounds that I used. And all together it sounds like this. Then I add my clap group in. With the kick. And then from there, with the hi-hats involved as well, it all sounds like this together. And then I started playing in the bass section and I thought this sounded really cool over the top. With the drums. Has this drive to it. My other favourite bits of this track was playing in the organ parts. I love the contact organs. I think they sound amazing. So this is one of them soloed here. And then with the slider later on. Did some panning as well. And the processing on that is bang. That's the processing. So some saturation, more saturation, but multi-band saturation. More saturation with the inflator and then the compressor as well. As I've said in previous walkthroughs, I love Isotopes Alloy, and it's an old plugin that I got, and I've just started bringing it back to for so many different things, drums, saturation on instruments. And then I've also got the Belle Biv DeVoe sample of Poison, which I was just out walking Ollie, my dog, and I was listening to the track on my headphones and I was like, you know what could fit really well is that the drum fill before the drop. And I put a delay on the horn sample as well, just to have that run through. And yeah, with everything together, it sounds like this. One thing that I really loved in this track was the energy of the verse, the vocals in that section. I just think it drives so much. Young J-A-C-K-A-K-A, Rico like Suave, Young Enrique speak. And I wanted to utilize that more, so I put it into a sampler and just started playing individual notes. As you can see, when I zoom in here, you can see all the sections here. Take off the filtering. If we go to the drop, I've got some modulation going on. I think it's the it's supermassive. Basically just getting the size of the supermassive bigger and smaller. I'll open it up so you can see what's going on. And that's just adding this this movement to it. So you can see the mix and the delay are changing. And then underneath it I wanted to have a huge room as well, accenting the first notes. But for the drop I didn't want it to confuse too much with what was going on underneath, so in the beginning it starts off that way. And it's filtering out slowly. But it just adds this huge depth to a very tight track in general otherwise. Originally, I actually just had the short one going on from the drop, but it wasn't big enough for the drop, so I added the layer of the big huge hall underneath it as well, just for the beginning, just while because if we go to the mix, that's actually a lot lower. It builds and builds through the track, and that way you've got this huge sound on the drop rather than being super tight, because of when in an older version I had it tight. and you just weren't really hearing that deet, like that there was a vocal there. So let's listen to the build.
I don't like no whips and chains, and you can't tie me down, but you can whip your lovin' on me. That's right, whip your lovin' on me. I don't like no whips and chains, and you can't tie me down, but you can whip your lovin' on me. That's right, whip your lovin' on me.
And then you've just got some incidental sounds like this synth that's going on in the background every so often. Just go from here. Wait a second. Just like a deep house kind of sound. And I've got this as well going on in right in the background, which is me. I did a voice recording, and that's just panning left and right. But it's also building, I believe, in some sections. You've got some Endless Smile just adding some size for the build up, and it's going as a reverb send as well. And as you can see, there's a variation, getting it smaller and smaller, tighter and tighter, just so it's more central. And then it goes back to the width again, of the panning. I need to turn that back on. I wanted it big, but I didn't want it to overpower the drop, so that way, even though if you're adding width and dimension with the Endless Smile, I wanted to bring in the width as well, so that way when on the drop it goes nice and wide and you've got a bigger stereo image. And yeah, that's my walkthrough on Lovin' on Me. Hope you liked it, hope you learned something, and I will catch you soon. Bye.